So I'm not really trying to go deep into the Luciferian and Satanist thing because y'all know I done did videos on it. Told y'all what Lucifer, Satan, devil was. I did a video on Luciferianism. I connected it to Donald Trump. Before he got in office, I did the video. And he won. So I'm just telling y'all what it is so you understand what side is what's going on. And right now, they're trying to infiltrate your mind. A lot of y'all been texting me and emailing me all week. Something is in the air. Of course there is. Everybody feel it. But this is not the time to be sad or paying attention to what is going on in the news. They're using people's anger and frustration. They had a school shooting. A white girl got stabbed in the bus on a train, and Charlie Kirk got killed. They're using all this anger to start something. And if they do it correctly, it'll manifest around the 20th something of the month. That's how they're using the energy. So don't fall for this angry. When I heard about it, I said, dang, I feel bad for Charlie Kirk kids. You know? I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I don't care about politicians. It's like if Donald Trump, something happened to him today, who cares? It is what it is, right? His kids are grown, so it happens, right? Got to pay the cost to be the boss. But when it comes to the children, I don't care what race they are, they don't know. And now those kids got to grow up with no father. That's the part that sucks. You see what I'm saying? But the elite don't care about none of that. The elite don't care about none of that. And I'm going to tell you what they do too. They'll have a person that it looks like a certain shooter. When they get close to you, they'll get a clone. They'll have a clone of that person ready. And they'll arrest the clone. They'll put the clone in a McDonald's somewhere. Clone be confused, don't know what's going on. They'll put him put him in jail, and nobody ever talked to this person. You'll never know that's a clone. The real person out and about still doing what they do. So yeah, this is what happens, family. Let me answer some of these questions here. Now, I apologize if I missed your questions. Just ask me again. Brother Yosef, can you give us some things to look for when buying land? What are some red flags and green flags? Well, it depends on who you are. I don't want to get land in the desert, but some people prefer land in the desert. You see what I'm saying? I recommend some people that buy land just to buy it, so they'll buy commercial land. I don't recommend buying commercial land. It's gonna be too many codes and different things you have to go through just to get what you want done. I recommend buying unrestricted land. You know what I'm saying? Unrestricted land, family. That's what I recommend buying. If you're going to get something close, if you have a home already and you want to get something in the country, I would say 2.5 hours or less. Don't get nothing 5-6 hours away. You ain't gonna feel like going up there all the time. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? My land is 2.5 hours away. It's a nice ride. I love driving up there. It's a nice, beautiful ride to the country. Get to see the lakes and animals, and you see the scenery change from city or a suburb into the countryside. It's nice. But that's a 5-hour drive. 2.5 hours up there, 2.5 hours back. You see what I'm saying? So it all depends on what you want, family. I just can't say it because everybody don't buy the same piece of land. I would say, and another thing I would say, make sure you don't get land in a flood zone. Make sure you check, because if the land real cheap for a reason, it could be because you're land in a flood zone. You don't want land there, trust me. Brother Yosef, do you mind speaking on Yeshua's power levels? Power levels. It seems like he was heavy user of the words of power. I'm reading this channel book called the Magdalene manuscript. It's so interesting. So Yeshua was a alchemist, right? I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't tell you his power level, but apparently he was very powerful. He was a real person, Yeshua. We're not talking about Jesus. We're talking about Yeshua. There really was a person who was roaming around that time known as Rabbi Yeshua. He was a teacher. All right. He wasn't as popular as what people consider Jesus to be, but they took him and they took the Buddha and Horus and Mithra, and they merged them together into one person, the whole story. And we know for a fact it was all written in Nicene Council, 332 AD. You see what I'm saying? The Nicene Council created Jesus. So so it's not that he was using words of power. I'm actually going to give you guys a secret. Something I'm taught in school that I'm going to give you guys. I can give you guys this at the lecture only. For those who come to the actual lecture, there's something that's been in your face the whole time that you just don't use. You do it subconsciously, and it brings you peace when you do it. But there's something that you should use on a continuous basis and you should operate in. That's going to give you, that is the key to unlocking your spiritual power. It is the key to your evolution. If I do talk about it in here, it'll be after the presentation. And Jesus Christ had the same thing. He did it in the Bible. In the Bible, he was doing the same thing. Some people call it faith. It's another word for faith. And trust me, y'all not going to figure it out on here. So, you know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about that. You know, you have to go into a certain state to tap into your junk DNA, your spiritual power. If you want things to start to activate around you, if you want to be in your deeper creativity, you must be in the states. If you want to tap into your godhood, you must be in the states. But if you've been following everything Brother Yosef been telling you, you would naturally be in this state. You would naturally be walking towards this state, naturally. And it's a message that I'm going to be preaching for the rest of my life after this event. The world needs more of it. And we'll talk about it, family. Karma is determined by one's heart. As one does evil, they truly feel nothing is wrong. They alignment with their heart, so their actual experience is positive, aka karma. So I'm going to tell you guys, and I told you guys a secret to this before. Only humans experience karma. I'm going to say that again. Only humans experience karma. There's no demon or a person who has evolved himself into an enlightened person. Yes, you can be enlightened on the left hand. I hope you guys be listening to me when I'm telling y'all this. Yes, you become enlightened on the left hand path. The left hand path is not about evil. It is a more infernal, extreme way to evolve that some of y'all ain't built for. Not even I was built for. It ain't my destiny to be that way. You see what I'm saying? But you can evolve. Infernal evil. It is a more infernal, extreme way to evolve that some of y'all ain't built for. Not even I was built for. It ain't my destiny to be that way. You see what I'm saying? But you can evolve. You can become a god. And then you can do all the things that people consider bad, and there's no karma. So how do you get rid of karma? Come outside the cycle of being a human. Evolve past being a human, and you don't have to worry about karma anymore. But you can't be doing anything you want to do and evolve. It's about consciousness. How in the world are you growing your consciousness? People who you think are evil and they do stuff to people, think about it. This is how I want you to think about it. See, only you needed a certain consciousness to really understand this. Or it's just going to be like, I don't believe in that. It ain't about what you believe. You see what I'm saying? So I want you to grasp what I'm about to say. Imagine imagine a mother. She's outside with her child, okay? And imagine that child as a left-hand panther, okay? The child goes over near a tree. He steps on an ant. He kills an ant. That ant has to take food back to feed the rest of his people. They need him. They're depending on him to do his job. He might even have some ant babies waiting on him in the back of the house. But this little kid just stepped on him. Now the mother may say, who cares? And take the child in the house. Or the mother may teach the child a lesson and say, hey, little Johnny, little Sarah, don't kill sentient life. Don't kill other life forms. It's not nice to step on ants and kill you. Somebody might teach their child that lesson. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand is that the dark forces, you're nothing but an ant to them. Just like if your niece or your nephew stepped on an ant, are you going to care? Are you going to put them in jail? Even though they took a life. Like they really took a life. They murdered their ant. You took life. In a gruesome way, you crushed them. Ant didn't even have a chance. Some of y'all don't care because it's an ant. Exactly. Just like a bug comes in your house and you kill the bug because it's in your house. The bug might just be trying to survive, but you murder it. You kill it. I'm not holding anybody here accountable. I'm telling you how the elite dark forces think about you. You're nothing but an ant to them, even though you look like a human being. To them, you're just a lower life force. That's how people on the left-hand path who are evolved think about you. You're something to be controlled. Because like your consciousness is higher than the ants, you look down on the ant. And the people who are on the same level as the child who killed and stuffed an ant, they're not going to condemn that child. Ain't that weird, y'all? They'll put a person in jail for killing a dog or a cat, but they won't put a person in jail for killing an ant. Because there's a hierarchy to what people think, to what people matter thinks life is. I'm just telling y'all how it goes. So what I just said, some people can't grasp that. They don't like, oh, it's an ant. But you need to understand to certain entities, you're an ant. They are 200 feet tall in their universe, their world, and they control you. Their technology, you are a caveman according to their technology. You don't got nothing. So you're an ant to them. But thank goodness there are a few people who are highly evolved beings that care about the ants, that want to see ants grow and gain higher consciousness. So that's the difference, y'all, between whether you receive karma or not. Karma is a cycle that humans fall into. When you evolve yourself on the left-hand path, the right-hand path, the middle path, the green path, the red path, I don't care what path you want. If you come to a way you learn how to evolve yourself past this, you don't receive any karma. I don't care how much bad stuff people say you did. There's no karma for it. Now, it doesn't mean that there's rules that there's not rules you don't have to abide by. Because now you step into the realm of the gods, and they're OG gods. And there's certain people that you can mess with and certain people you can't mess with. But the last thing any god is worried about is karma. Just like an immortal. An immortal person who's never going to die is not worried about karma. They're not. So I'm just giving you guys something to think about. Can you give us any tips on how to on uses of Moldavite? When you get Moldavite, meditate with it. That's all you need to do. Let it teach you. You don't need to do any spells with it, rituals. When you have it, let it work with you. Meditate with it and let it show you things. Let it teach you. Sleep with it under your pillow. That's what I recommend. Vampires are immortal. They don't worry about karma. They live for, the vampires can live forever. They can live for a long time. You don't need to program Moldavite. It's not a crystal. Moldavite is not a crystal. Moldavite is a meteorite. It's already programmed. It's going to do what it needs to do. You can't put Moldavite in the same conversation as a crystal. It looks like a crystal, but it's a meteorite. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, family. That's what Moldavite is. So it already has everything it needs inside of it. No need to treat it like a crystal. It doesn't need to be programmed. So for the past few months on my YouTube channel, y'all know I've been talking about the mind. Get your mind right. Guard your mind. All these different videos and live streams about the mind. All that has happened to help you right now. Hopefully you was listening. Hopefully you understand that what you're looking for is looking for you. Hopefully you understand that. Hopefully you understand that, family. Brother Yosef, how was your mom's B-Day? My mom's B-Day was good. She was up with me on the land. I think it was this past Monday, wasn't it? I'll show you guys something. Yeah, so it was Tuesday, right? That's mama right there. So I took him up to the tribal land, let them see. And my stepdad can't sit still. He started cutting the grass. He started cutting the grass, family. You know what I mean? That was so funny. It was such a nice day that day, too. How can an ant talk to a human? You have to be able to speak that ant's language. Telepathically, you can talk to anybody. If that ant knows how to talk telepathically, which it does, all insects can talk telepathically, right? Humans can't talk telepathically. So even though a human is, to a degree, a higher life form, there's things about ants that are more powerful than humans. They're actually telepathic. Yeah, my mom is in her 60s. So yeah, she looks very young. That runs in my family. We have a very young look. My stepdad is 70 something. And he looks like he's in his 50s. You know what I mean? I feel like a certain God is looking for me, but I'm blocking my consciousness from connecting to the gods. You just have to believe Some of you guys know who your spiritual parents are. You just have to believe it. There's a certain vibe you get when it comes to a certain god or goddess. Believe it. Brother Yosef, what do you think was the point of making everyone get the Jabba Dabba Doo if they were going to put nanonites in the food anyway? The Jabba Dabba Doo is to tag you. It's evidence that you're their property. It's a technological tag. But everybody's body can't take it. Sometimes when you put that tag on some people, it causes blood clots and everything else. But some people may not like to hear it, but it's the truth. If you've gotten a shot, you have a tag on you. It's not a vaccination. That's why I stopped telling people to take activated charcoal. That's a vaccination. That's not a vaccination, in my opinion. But really also have received my dependent today. Thank you. Yes, you are very welcome, family. You are very welcome. You told us that certain types of jinns that are deities. How can one identify a jinn deity? There's a lot of jinn deities in Persia. You look up a lot of the Persian gods, a lot of those are jinns. Like 75% of them are jinns. I'm going to say it again. If you look up the Persian deities, the Persian gods, what we know today is Iraq. A lot of those are jinns. And that's all I'll say about that. But you don't need to associate yourself with a jinn. You don't need to identify them, in my opinion. Do you think a karmic relationship can turn into a soulmate connection after a lesson? So yeah, you do have a negative soulmate. So yeah, you can learn a lesson from a negative soulmate. You know what I mean? That negative soulmate is there only to hurt you and teach you lessons. But there's no such thing as a negative soulmate turning into your positive soulmate. Absolutely not. I know some of the negative relationships a lot of people want to hold on to. You gotta let that go. You know, I've been with my wife. It's the only woman who I ever loved. Like I've never been married to another woman. You know what I'm saying? So I've been with my wife. So I don't know what it's like for a girl to hurt me in a relationship. I've been blessed I've been saved from that, right? But I know what it's like for a friend that you love to turn on you. That's the closest thing I can think about. And even when it comes to negative friends that you love, you gotta let them friends go. Even when you love them. Don't be trying to figure out a way around it. Well, maybe in the stars it could turn into a pot. No, it's done. It's gone. Let it go. So you can move on to something better. So do I think a karmic relationship can turn into a soulmate? Absolutely not. Some people don't want to hear it because some people break up a lot with their mates. I'm telling you right now, soulmates don't break up. And neither do twin flames. Soulmates can argue. You can have an argument and stuff like that, but you're not going nowhere. Not a true soulmate. And you definitely people, and that's what I hate the most. Is people say everybody think they twin flames. You're not. Twin flames are rare. Everybody not a twin flame. You see what I'm saying? Twin flames are rare. And people want to make you believe that a twin flame, you could break up with them, fight, call the police on each other, get a restraining order against each other, get back together, fight again, and get back together and fight again, and you can talk about this your soulmate. No, you need to let that person go. They ain't your soulmate. You know what I'm saying? There's something about you may think about getting upset and mad and leaving, but you ain't gonna do it. You told us that resin doesn't block vibrations if we create a crystal grid and solidify it in resin.